Thank you for joining us this morning. We're going to be doing a update on the officer-involved shooting that happened on Saturday. First, Sheriff Wagner will be speaking, then Chief Jackson. Following that, we'll have a period for questions. Because this is our normal media briefing time, we will resume our normal daily briefing following the press conference today. Thank you.
Good morning. The investigation into the officer-involved shooting that occurred Saturday morning continues. Yesterday afternoon, Christian Alexander, age 26, died from his injuries at about 3:30 p.m. An autopsy is scheduled for today to determine the cause of death. Investigators have been in contact with both Alexander and Haley Stainbrook's families. They have assisted our investigation with regard to the preceding days and weeks of the shooting. Our condolences go out to both families over the tragic outcome of this event. Investigators have reviewed video evidence from the in-car cameras, the body-worn cameras, and the businesses where the two suspects had gone. We know Stainbrook and the victim of the armed robbery had met Friday evening via a social media app and spent some time together at the victim's hotel. We have also learned the initial state trooper that located the white Trailblazer on Superior Street saw it parked in front of a convenience store. He pulled his patrol vehicle in behind the Trailblazer. At that point, Haley Stainbrook was driving. She backed into the patrol car, moving it out of the way and fleeing the scene westbound on Superior. The trooper pursued the suspects on Superior until the pursuit went northbound on North 14th Street. At Alvo Road, the trooper attempted an intervention technique which was not successful, and the suspects proceeded to flee eastbound on Alvo Road. At 56 and Arbor Road, another intervention technique was attempted. At this time, Alexander was observed to point a handgun out of the window at the state trooper. At this time, 2 Nebraska state troopers and 1 LPD officer were present. The suspect vehicle came to rest in the southbound traffic lanes of North 56th Street, which is Highway 77, right below the I-80 bridge. Alexander pointed the handgun at officers and they discharged their weapons. When the threat from Alexander was over, negotiations began with Stainbrook to have her drop the weapon she had so officers could provide aid to Alexander. These negotiations lasted approximately 7 minutes. Those negotiations ended when Stainbrook pointed her weapon at officers and was fired upon by one of the Nebraska state troopers. As soon as that threat was over, officers provided first aid to both suspects. Ballistic and forensic evidence is being examined to determine which of the suspects may have fired a revolver that was recovered from the vehicle. That revolver had both live rounds and a spent round in it. Another semi-automatic pistol was recovered from the Trailblazer. It has turned out to be a 177 caliber pellet pistol that's a Sig Sauer lookalike. In consultation with the Lancaster County Attorney, our preliminary investigation has determined the officers were justified in using deadly force against both suspects. I know the Nebraska State Patrol will be releasing a statement regarding their involvement later on.
Good morning. I'm Acting Chief Brian Jackson, Lincoln Police Department. On Saturday, February 20th, 2021, Lincoln police officers and Nebraska state troopers were involved in a shooting that resulted in the deaths of 30-year-old Haley Stainbrook of Casper, Wyoming, and 26-year-old Christian Alexander of Evansville, Wyoming. Both individuals were suspect in an armed robbery who fled after law enforcement officers attempted to stop their vehicle. As NSP troopers pursued the vehicle, Lincoln Police Department officer Jesse Hilger responded to assist. After the vehicle was stopped, Officer Jesse Hilger did discharge his firearm. Officer Hilger is a 19-year veteran of the Lincoln Police Department. He has served as a firearms instructor, a defensive tactics instructor, and a field training officer during his employment here. We are fortunate that no law enforcement officers or other members of the public were seriously injured, and we're profoundly grateful for the outpouring of community support. Per policy, Officer Hilger was placed on paid administrative leave immediately following the incident and will remain on leave until the internal investigation is completed. The Lancaster County Sheriff's Office and the Lincoln Police Department are continuing their respective investigations into this incident. Any loss of life is tragic. And we ask the public and media to respect the privacy of all officers as well as the family of Stainbrook and Alexander. Our thoughts are with them as they grieve their loss of their loved ones. Thank you.